No, it's not just Cinderella's fairy godmother that can turn a pumpkin into something much prettier. It's us too with the revisions.
Oh, yes. So stay tuned if you want to make something beautiful like this in just a few easy steps. Okay, what's your secret? How have you turned that from that? Like, what did you do?
Okay, it's magic. No. I'm going to show you guys today how I did do this. And these are real pumpkins, and this is actually a polystyrene pumpkin.
Okay.
Secrets out.
I get it now.
But I wanted to show you this early on so you can see what a transformation this can be. And I can't make this bigger and into this size. But having a lovely little tea light holder and something that just looks different for autumn, I think is going to look really beautiful and different for this season too. So it's getting a full-on revision.
Love it.
Yes. I love Halloween because it gives you an opportunity to do stuff that is really, really fun with craft. And I'm going to give you some options here because you can obviously naturally do it with your original little pumpkins. We've got little munchkin ones here, and what I'm going to do today is going to be applicable to both, but what I'm going to show you how to do is using one of these polystyrene pumpkins from Hobbycraft. So it's super light because it's hollow, already looks like a pumpkin, but we're obviously going to change this. And the first thing that you've got to do, and these steps do not apply if you're doing it to the natural pumpkins, or the real ones should we say, is you want to take a tea light and you want to just draw around it with a marker on the lid. Just here, so you just place it on the top and just draw a lovely circle. Doesn't have to be perfect, mine clearly isn't. And just have that as a marker because you're going to cut out this top bit as a lid too. So get a crafting knife or a Stanley knife and you want to kind of carefully go round this area here. So I'm just going to punch into it as you'd expect to do normally. And there we go, it's hollow, so it's always all going to fall through, but do you know what, that was almost as taxing as actual pumpkin carving. So just pull out, or if you lose it, just pull out your little lid there, and that's done. So there you go, super hollow, really easy, perfect for popping a candle in. So the next stage that we've got to do is get this painted. So when your pumpkin is carved, so to speak, and obviously if you wanted to create a lid from the actual little munchkins here, then you're going to have a bigger job of carving it, but good luck with that, enjoy. That's completely up to you, but with my polystyrene one here, I've obviously got my lid, I've got my pumpkin, so the next thing to do is to paint it. Now we're going to be gold leafing it, and I think a lovely colour that goes with gold is pink, but a subtle pink, because the rage and trend this year is all about white pumpkins and people are going mad for it. So I've got this Neptune pink peppercorn emulsion paint, and it's just a little tester pot from Neptune, and it's got the most gorgeous pink colouring to it, and I love it because it's going to be so soft and so delicate. It will almost look white, but actually it's got that nice little tinge of pink which will go perfectly with the gold. So this next step is super simple. You just paint your pumpkin, and if you need to do a couple of layers because this orange is quite strong, by all means do it. If you have another shade of pink as well and you're thinking I just want to give it some definition in the middle as well there, in between all of the little sort of slats that we've got here, then by all means give that a go as well. Go crazy. It's your pumpkin to do to decorate however you want to do it. So just make sure that it doesn't show any orange is basically all you need to do. You might want to do something where you paint half of it now, leave that to dry maybe for a couple of hours, and then turn it over and paint the bottom bit so that everything is covered, because the last thing you want to do is have this displayed on your table at an eye height or anything like that, or on a mantelpiece, and then you can just see little hints underneath of the orange. So it's always good to make sure that all of it, all the way round, is painted. And then once that's done, and don't forget to paint your lid as well, just leave that all to dry, maybe overnight, because the next step is that it needs to be really dry in order to start gold leafing. So once it's all dry, here we go, our lovely little pink pumpkin. Almost just about there, I think, looking lovely. Any excess bits of polystyrene that's just on the bottom, just make sure you just get rid of that. What you need to do next is grab some painter's tape. I'd say get painter's tape, not masking tape, because it's softer, and this is specifically designed to be on paint, so it won't hopefully take anything off. And all you need to do is find the kind of line of where you want to gold leaf it. So I'd say about there, so from this bit upwards, and just make sure you pop the painter's tape in and see all the ridges that we've got here as well. Make sure you get in the detail there as well, because we don't want any of the gold leaf or the acrylic size to get kind of caught there. And what I want is a really nice kind of straight line, or as straight as we can get. So just continue round. And when you get to joining the edges, try and make sure they're as straight and as equal as possible. And then it just needs you to just break off. Oh, that was quite a tough bit of painter's tape there. And just press it all down and make sure it is as equal as you can possibly get it. So you've got your kind of edging. It doesn't necessarily need to be perfect. I've got a few little bits and bobs that aren't there, but as long as it's generally straight and all tucked in, and then press down as well as much as you can, and hopefully you'll get a nice crisp line. Now you might choose to actually just do the bottom of this, but I love the idea of having one of these little pumpkins gold leafed at the top. Maybe I'll take a little tiny one and gold leaf the bottom. Whatever floats your boat really, and however you want to assemble them together when you're styling them. You may want to pick and choose and do lots of different ones, so it's completely up to you. But that's how I'm going to do mine. So very simply, the next step is to get your acrylic size. And you've probably seen from some of our other videos that we love a bit of gold leaf here on the revision. So I'm going to use this to our full advantage and do it all over again. So very simple. You take your acrylic size, get a nice little brush. I've actually chosen a sponge brush here just because it will just cover the top of the pumpkin a lot quicker. Oh, a little bit of drips there. And you just cover it entirely in your acrylic size. So there we go. And you want to leave that for about 10 minutes to set a little bit and get a bit more tacky before you apply the gold leaf. However, whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to put that to one side and set. I've got the lid as well, so if you want to put this in gold as well, then make sure whilst that one is busy getting tacky, you can just paint the top of this as well. And actually, this might be really interesting to see what this looks like with some gold leaf on it. So there we go. So I'm going to leave those for about 5 to 10 minutes just to get a little bit ready to go. And then it's time to apply the gold leaf. This is the really fun bit, and the bit that will really transform this as well. So we have our pumpkin, it's feeling quite tacky in terms of the glue, and now I think we can take sheets of this lovely gold leaf that we have here, and you just simply just place it and stick it down as gently as you can with your fingers onto the pumpkin itself. Now the great thing about the fact that these are sheets of gold leaf is that actually for large surface areas like this, it works quite nicely. Any spaces that you have which you haven't quite filled in, just use an odd bit that we have here. And we can just pick up any leftovers as well and just fill in the gaps. Although you might find that having these nice little gaps of pink showing through might actually work really well. So might look a bit messy right now, doesn't matter because it's all going to come off in a second, but your fingers might get a bit messy in the meantime. But just work your way around, pulling off different bits of the gold leaf as you go along and just sticking them down, and make sure that you do get all the way up to the edges as well, so that you have it as if it's continuing on inside the pumpkin itself. And then I'd leave that as well for another 5 or 10 minutes just to make sure that it sticks quite nicely, and anything excess that you've got, pop it in a little pot like that. You never know when you're going to need it. So let's just leave that for a moment, and then it's time to take some of it off. The most satisfying part of this process is going to be getting this gold leaf off, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing right now. It's as simple as getting a dry soft brush and brushing away all of this excess. So you can see what it's doing already. It's looking smoother as it pushes some of the gold leaf down, but it gets rid of any of that stuff that just is going to flake away. So you've got the majority of it off here on the top. There might be a few more excess bits that you might need to get off, but the big thing that I want to do right now is to take off, if I can find it, masking tape. So find your edging, see it there, find your edging, and just pull off that crisp line. Wow, it's looking great. Oh, look at that! That looks lovely. The next thing you want to do is get something, if you've got it, get something like a small little candle, which I'm just using this old Parks candle here, that fits into your pumpkin. And then scrunch up a load of newspaper as well, because what you need to do is give this candle some height. And I bet you're thinking, oh, she was using an LED little tea light a minute ago. Don't you worry, I still am. Right, I'm going to stick that in there to give that some height. You may find that newspaper is enough actually. I'm going to turn this over and pop it in, and it provides itself as a little tiny base. You can see that little base there for your candle. And there's my tea light. I'm going to switch that on. Get a little glow and pop that on top. And obviously you can change it so it's at different heights, but I quite love it. Look at that. Let's see what Emily thinks, eh? Happy spooky October!
I love it. Why on earth would you want to have oranges in your house when you can have pink and gold?
Yes, I know. And do you know what? It's just a pretty way of approaching Halloween, I think, in a way.
It really is. It's just, yeah, it's a different take on it.
Yeah, I love it. And I think, you know, in terms of styling your house, it's a little nod to the month and the season of fall or, or autumn for us Brits. But it's just lovely. And the fact that you can do this not only on, you know, this wonderful polystyrene one from Hobbycraft, but also you could actually do the same process on an original natural pumpkin as well.
Absolutely, yeah. So. And actually, I'd probably display that in my house until Christmas.
Oh yeah, really nice. Right, okay. I assume you want to take it.
Oh well, you know, we give gifts to each other, right?
We really do. But before we do that, shall we style it up?
Let's do it.
Enjoyed watching me create this very pretty pink and gold pumpkin.
I did. If you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up, give us a like please. Any comments, any suggestions about this video or something else that you'd like to see, just send us a comment. And if you want to subscribe,
please do it.
Please just subscribe and share with your friends.
Yes.
Tell the world about the revision and
Sharing
all the
is
things.
Caring. But for now, thank you so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed it. There's lots of other great videos, so make sure you keep on watching and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.